Happy Friday. I hope that you had an absolutely wonderful week. I am super excited for the books we're going to talk about today. As you can see there, well, maybe you can't see. There we go. Give you some definition. There's 3 of them. We're going to break a little bit from the typical historical fiction that we talk about and talk about probably, I'm going to go with one of my favorite sci-fi authors, and that's Blake Crouch. And so we're going to talk about his book today. Let's get into it. The first book we're going to talk about is Dark Matter. For those of you who don't know anything about this book, it was also recently made into a TV show on Apple Plus. I haven't watched the TV show yet, so I won't talk about that at all. I just know that it's happened and that my friends who have watched it really enjoyed it. I just haven't gotten around to watching it yet. I loved this book. It was grab you and not let you go the whole time, because the beginning, you're so thrown by what happens that you just have to know what's going on. And then by the time you know what's going on, you just want to know the end of like what is going to happen at the end. So it really keeps you captivated and is very entertaining, which I really, really enjoyed and made this so fun. If you haven't read a Blake Crouch book, then you wouldn't know that his books are a little bit trippy. They take basically a everyday world and do something to disrupt it. And this book was really fun to get to live in this alternate reality for a little while and just get to experience the characters and what this was like. And I really enjoyed it, and it would definitely be a recommendation in my book. And then it led me to wanting to read another one of his books, which is Recursion, which also adds to a similar thing. It's the real world, and they do something and make a twist in reality. In this case, this one, the back of it says reality is broken. And it starts with something where you're like, what is happening? I must know what is happening. And then by the time you find out what is happening, you're engrossed in the characters enough and you want to know how it ends for them, which is really fun. This one was so good that I immediately recommended it to many, many people. I finished it, and my mom and I then went on a trip, and I immediately handed it to her to read while we were on vacation, which was fun because then every once in a while I'll be like, where are you at? What's happening? So we could talk about it. I immediately recommended it to one of my friends and one of my colleagues at the time. He had actually already read it, so it was fun to get to talk about. But it is a weird, random twist on reality and just leaves you wanting to know what's going to happen, which I really, really enjoyed. And then I actually have a third Blake Crouch book, but I haven't read it yet. So I'm excited. Sometimes I get in a sci-fi zone, so I'm saving it for a rainy day when I'm really excited. So if you've read Upgrade, I would love to hear what you think. I obviously can't give you any spoilers because I haven't read it, but this one just says you are the next step in human evolution. So I'm guessing that this takes after the same theme of dark matter and recursion and is, the typical everyday human experience, and then flips it into something that is unique and a fun sci-fi version of the world. I would love to hear if you've read any Blake Crouch books. They're so fun. Even if you just watched Dark Matter, I'd love to hear what you think. If you've seen it, if you've read it and watched, I would really love to hear what you think, because I'm a little bit nervous about watching the show. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Happy reading.